Okay, so we're 4 episodes into the Vampire Lestat, and I wanted to come and give a brief character analysis of his mom, Gabriella de Lioncourt. I have not read the book, so I only know Gabriella of what we have been shown of her thus far in the Vampire Lestat. The overall arch I would say that I get from his mama is that she does not want to be his mama. She didn't want to be neither one of her son's mother. She didn't want to be her husband's wife. And I think that that's a very real feeling, especially given the context of the time that she existed as a woman. She was alive during the 1700s, and she was a woman of prestige, we'll say, of royalty. So being in that very confined element, in that confined role within society, she was expected to behave a certain way. And even though she was royalty, she had no autonomy, as we can see with how Lestat's brothers treated her, their own mama, and how his father treated her, his wife. And I feel as if the way that she behaves as a mama in real time without the sexual aspect between her and Lestat, I think a lot of women would show up like that as mamas. Like if they could just leave their kids on their lonesome and go out and do whatever the fuck they want to do and not be worried about somebody calling them or needing something, they would drop their asses where they at. Because a lot of motherhood really deals with I would say moral weight, like moral responsibility and moral shame that is put on women. You know, a lot of women, even in today's time, motherhood is very hard. And a lot of times women do not have support during motherhood. So I think a lot of women do resent becoming mothers, but because there's so much romanticism around giving birth and having children, that you're made to feel bad if you're not always happy go lucky and you're not happy to have somebody calling you mommy. Gabriella is like, fuck that. I like it always dawns on me, and I love the fact I think it's hard. I think it's harsh for Lestat to hear, but I always love when she's like telling him who I am now. I want to be where I'm nobody's. I'm not a mother. I'm not a wife. I'm not even a woman. I am this almost this evil entity, and not even just an evil entity, but just a thing where I can exist and respond, and not just respond, but also acquiesce and satisfy every desire that I have. Because women, we are not allowed to have that, and especially if that desire is deemed outside of what is respectable. And his mama, I really think that becoming a vampire really, I think the way that Lestat always says that, vampires are born out of trauma, I think Gabriella and Daniel kind of share a little, I think they both share this aspect, and their coming into vampirism really allowed who they are to expand, or just really gave them another look on life and another look on who they are as a person, and how they can identify. And more so Gabriella than Daniel. I think Daniel, he's already Daniel and he just coming stepping into that more, but then he also realizes that, I don't have the powers that y'all have, so really I ain't got all that. But no, Gabriella is very powerful. And she's like, I'm going to act out on this power at every fucking opportunity, because when I was alive, I did not, I could not. Like, she would sit at her own dinner table in her own home and be dismissed. Like, she had to read a book to even escape the reality of her life and almost create another reality in her mind. Now, I think she don't want to be Lestat's mama, but she loves the power that she has in being Lestat's mama. And I think it's more than the sexual thing. Gabriella most definitely enjoys the power that being a mother has over her child, Lestat. Um, because she has this power over him just in this mother child dynamic, she's really able to, like, she's really the reason that Lestat is Lestat. And not just, oh yes, because she's his mama, but the the character defining moments that made Lestat who he is, the wolf killer. Gabriella is the catalyst for that. In the moment where, they're at the table and the family's talking about these wolves that are pretty much eating everyone's livestock, Gabriella says that, in response to her son, that there's nothing that they can do about it. And she says, but be men. She knew that Lestat, the only other son that she had that really hadn't come into himself, that also hadn't been tainted by the, I would say, the dangerous representation that he was getting from his father and his brothers on how to be able and how to show up as a man. She knew that he valued her in a sense that she was almost like his safe place, that if she said that was going to send him out to go do that. And I think that gave her power. She felt powerful in knowing that, hell, I may not be able to say shit to my husband, I may not be able to say shit to my two sons, but this one, the youngest one, oh, that's me. And even now in today's time, for Lestat to be her maker, she behaves like she's his maker, because they're still operating in that mother child dynamic. They talk about the vampire bond. They already had the bond that was solidified literally through the umbilical cord, like through ovary, fallopian tube, birth canal, everything, like flesh of my flesh, but blood of my bone. They have that, and then they also are connected through vampirism. That is a bond that is just so deep that I don't even think we can begin to understand the depths of it. And I'm not giving an okay for their sexual relationship, but I would say, considering the time that they were alive and that they were of royal blood, it checks out, because that's what a lot of royal families did. They, committed incestuous acts because in their mind they're keeping the blood pure by staying within the family, even though that is, because I mean, shout out to the Habsburg Shield, that's where that comes from. But I truly believe that this woman knows the power that she has over Lestat. I mean, even in the most recent episode, Lestat is ready to just give up in a way, and she like, no, nah, like, do you understand? Like, do you hear what you have awakened? It's time for this great conversion, baby. Like, it's time to get this shit in motion. Do you hear the vampires? They talking to you, girl. They saying, let's do this. So do it. Like, it was another version of the scene, but be men, in today's time. And she really solidified it with her mother's touch. I mean, as a mother's touch, by holding his hand, coming onto his level, speaking to him softly, eye to eye. And we see that's why Lestat, he, every time she leaves, he cries and runs after her like a child, like a grown ass child. And I believe that this lady don't want to be his mama, but she loves that she is his mama, because she has that power over him, because she is his mama. But she don't want to be his mama. And I think she don't want to be his mama because she feels as if that's stifling to her. Why? Like, I'm on the other side of not even just humanity, but I'm on the other side of morality. I'm on the other side of everything that humans understand as being right or as being wrong, or even understanding how life moves on. I'm on the other side of life. I am in death. Why am I even applying any of those rules, those roles, those feelings to what I'm doing now? Fuck that. But at the same time, fuck you. I will fuck you and do what the fuck I want you to do. Do what I tell you to do. That's why I say she ain't nobody's mama, but she loves being his mama, even though she don't want to be his mama. I really do feel that way about Gabriella de Lioncourt. She is so multifaceted. That's another thing that I love about all of these characters. They are so multifaceted, and you really, as an audience member, I think you feel allowed to fall in love with them, fall out of love with them, or even just, fall into a respect for them. Like, you know what? I see why you do what you do, even though it's fucked up. Like you don't feel bad for liking the villain. And that's what I love about this show because everything is so fleshed out. But that's my brief analysis of his mama. Um, Let me know if you agree or if I missed a few things or if there's anything else that you've picked up on your viewpoint of him, especially as her own person and as his mom.